So this photo right here is actually pretty funny because I did temple trekking for 3.5 hours and I did not come across this freaking particular event, which I do have a picture of, but I just didn't record it for some reason. I don't know. 3.5 hours and this event never came up. It's not even a freaking good event. It's just a random ass event that gives you health. But anyways, I'm here with a guy for this mini game called Temple Trekking. Let's face it, you don't know what it is, you've never played it, and I'm here to teach you. Now, I don't want to confuse you in any way possible, so I'm going to try to make this as easy as I can. Before we begin, here is a table of content of the setup and the event you'll encounter in your trek. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click on the video to conveniently skip ahead, or if you're watching on your phone, you can just check the description and I'll have the links for you right there. So my personal preference is Barrow's Gloves, Dragon or Rune Boots, a Dragon or Rune Defender, Whip or Skimmy, a Fire Cape, Arty Cape or Skill Cape trimmed, Fury, Glory or Power Amulet, a Blessing for that +1 prayer, Helm of Nate for the Strength and Prayer, Prosy Armor and Legs for the prayer. For the ring specifically, you can use either Ring of the Gods or Warrior or Berserker ring. Inside your inventory should be Super Attack, Super Strength, Prayer Potions, Blessed Silver Sickle, Druid Pouch, your choice between a Rod of Evandis or a Blessed Axe. And the only difference is that all these silver weapons, including the Mithril Blessed Axe, do a maximum 10 damage besides the Rod of Evandis against Juvinates. Bring a Sail of Amulet Enchanted for the Ghasts and the Shades. You're going to need that because it does 20% damage. Bring a knife, bring an axe, bring a teleport. I take my my rune pouch for the teleports to my house because I have an altar. Bring some food for yourself, bring some food for your followers, and bring a special weapon. Very important. Now, before you start any trek, you should always try to see if your follower has a full inventory of food. And to open up their inventory, just use the food like lobsters on them, and it's going to open up this interface, which is going to show you all of the foods that they're capable of carrying. They have a maximum inventory space of 15, so they can hold 15 foods. Some foods that you can use are lobsters like I am using, or you can use cakes. I don't know why there's cooked fish cakes in there, which is very hard to get. It's very useless as well. Very easy food to get right now is cakes. You can just go to any baker stall and just steal the cakes and just use them as your main source of food. I use lobsters because I have a lot of them. If you're going to be farming for pure essence or silver bars, in my opinion, helping the medium difficulty NPCs are the best. Go ahead and right click on their name and click on Escort to start. Now, the difference between easy, medium, and hard is the number of enemies you're going to encounter during your trek. Easies have a total of 3 enemies, mediums have 4, and hards have 5. So if you're having difficulty with medium NPCs, go ahead and use the easy NPC while choosing Route 3. When you get the option, always choose Route 3 because the endgame reward is based off the route you choose and the score you achieve. Understanding the scoring for temple trekking is pretty much useless because you're not really in control of the encounters you face. However, you do start off with the base percentage of score by choosing an easy, medium, or hard NPC. Getting 100% reward with the medium or hard is always going to be easier than choosing an easy NPC. At times, an easy NPC can take as long as a medium NPC, but it'll net you less rewards. At times again, taking the hard NPC might take you over your 100% score, only rewarding you at the 100% that the reward is capped at. This is why medium is great for getting maximum reward potential in a decent amount of time. When you come across this event with the broken bridge and no trees to chop down, that's how you know you've come across the Lumberjack encounter. Now this is a very simple, very easy encounter. You just kill the undead Lumberjacks that come out, get the 3 planks, and repair the bridge. But there is an added bonus with this event. Killing these Lumberjacks will guaranteed drop you 1 piece of a Lumberjack outfit. The Lumberjack outfit is 4 pieces, and when you have all 4 pieces, you get a 2.5% increase in your experience when you woodcut. See, I just got boots right now, and you are always guaranteed to get 1 per event. Nothing more, nothing less. So Lumberjacks spawn in waves of 5, and the best part about it is that there is unlimited waves. Just in case you don't get a piece of Lumberjack in the first wave of 5, you can always wait it out until the next wave and see if it drops. You are guaranteed 1 drop of Lumberjack per encounter of Lumberjacks. So just wait it out if you don't have a piece, wait it out until you get that drop. Once you have 3 planks in your inventory, you want to go ahead and equip your axe and use your planks on the broken bridge. You're going to need a total of 3 planks. Just use them on there, it'll fix it, and it should give you the option to walk across. Now that we fixed the bridge, let's pretend that we didn't get a piece of Lumberjack and wait out until the second wave. Like I said, there is an infinite number of waves. You are guaranteed 1 piece of Lumberjack, and the best part of it is that due to an update, you no longer get duplicates. Currently, I have 4 sets of Lumberjack, none are duplicates, so that's great. And back in 2006, 2007, that wasn't the case. So there's the head of the first Lumberjack of Wave 2. So you can go ahead and kill the rest of the Lumberjacks that spawn. Hopefully you can get your piece of Lumberjack that you didn't get. Once you get it, just go ahead and cross the bridge. If you don't want the Lumberjack outfit, you could have crossed the bridge a long time ago and just continue with the event, and you have completed the Lumberjack event. Very similar to the Lumberjack event, you have this encounter with the broken bridge, but instead of Lumberjacks, you have these dead trees that you can chop down. So what you want to do is equip your axe and go ahead and make some space for 3 logs. You can pick up those foods later. Chop down those 3 trees. Now, if you forgot to bring your axe, you see that zombie that's walking around? You can kill that and it's guaranteed going to drop you a bronze axe. Once you have those 3 logs in your inventory, just go ahead and use them on the bridge, and it should repair it just as it did with the planks and the bridges or in the earlier section with the Lumberjacks. And then once you have that bridge fixed, pick up your food again, and then walk across, and you're done with this encounter. Very rarely, you can also come across this encounter and the Lumberjack encounter together. So you'll have the 3 trees and the Lumberjack spawning in, and you can work with that however you want. So this is the bog encounter. Not a lot of people like this encounter because they think it's difficult and time consuming, but in my opinion it's pretty fast and pretty simple. So the secret to this is use your axe on the spiny bush right over here. And that should net you somewhere between 1 to 4 branches. So just do it until you have a full inventory of it. I would say at least take 3 because sometimes you do lose it. And I'm going to show you what you're going to do with it right now. So fill up your inventory with these branches. And then once we got some, you're going to use your branches on each tile of the bog. And look at your chat box, your general chat box. If it says firm, that means you can stand on it and not sink. So I'm trying to show you if there is a soft one. That's another firm right over there. Soft right there. So you can also hear the sound effects that it makes. So when you walk across it, just keep checking with your branches to see if the next path is true or false. And we reach the soft one right over there. So we're going to try to take a different route. Generally, there is only one true path, and there might be some pseudo paths, like paths that you might think is correct, but it ends up being a dead end. You don't come across those very often. Generally, the first firm path that you find on the first tile is the correct path. Sometimes when you do poke into a soft pile, you're going to lose your branch, and that can be annoying if you run out of branches halfway through. But that's pretty much it. That concludes the bog event. So this is another encounter that you might not encounter often. It's pretty fast, pretty easy, but very rare. If you don't have a knife in your inventory, find the backpack on the ground. Let me drop this knife. Find the backpack on the ground. It's going to give you a knife. You want to use that knife on this little tree with the vines right over here. You want to use it 3 times, and each time you use it, you get 1 short vine. Now, once we have all 3, let's use the vines on each other and then use the vines on this little branch right over here, and it's going to create a path for you to swing across from. So just right click on that, swing across, and there you go. You completed this event. Very fast, very easy. Doesn't give you a lot of score, but it's pretty good to have. The Ghasts encounter is actually pretty decent in terms of speed and reward. Every time you kill these Ghasts, you do get 140 prayer experience, Make sure you wear your Seal of Amulet E because you will be doing 20% extra damage and have 20% accuracy. And make sure you have at least 4 in your Druid pouch because there are 4 Ghasts at every event that you go to. As you can see here, they are actually attacking pretty slow. Their attack speed is half the speed of my Skimmy, so I will be doing 2 attacks for every 1 attack they do on me, which makes it very predictable of when to flinch. You don't even need to flinch because they are actually very inaccurate in their attacks. But if they do hit you, you will be getting hit hard. Now that we're finishing off the last Ghast, what I would personally do is use this time to refill my Druid pouch while we're still in this instance. So find a place that has a branch, a tree, and a log, just like this area here, where you can cast your bloom with your silver sickle. This is the branch and that's the tree, just in case you guys wanted a visual on it. So why this is good is because the branch and the tree will actually bloom as well, and the things they give off will charge your Druid pouch more than the fungi would. So we all know that using the cast bloom on the logs will give you fungi just like this, but sometimes it'll make the branch and the tree bloom as well, and those fruits and leaves that it gives off will charge your Druid pouch about 2 or 3 times more than regular fungi. I always do this after every Ghast encounter because it's always better to be prepared than to be sorry. If you don't have any charges in your Druid pouch, your follower can take damage and they'll actually ruin the food in your inventory. So just do this just to be on the safe side. So this is the worst encounter that you're ever going to encounter during temple trekking. This is the Juvenate encounter. This is horrible. I hate it. It's nasty. It's just not good. So what I didn't do here that you should do is go attack every single Juvenate while you have that 5-second timer of them not aggroing anyone. Because if these Juvenates aggro on your follower, they are locked onto your follower until the Juvenate dies or your follower dies. And not only that, like I explained in the beginning of this entire video, there are only certain weapons you can use on these. Silver weapons, my personal recommendations will be the Rod of Evandis, which I'm currently using right now, and the Blessed Axe. The Blessed Axe and every other silver weapon only do a maximum 10 damage on Juvenates, but the Rod of Evandis does more because the Rod is specifically made to kill Juvenates. This is what the special does. Don't ever use the special because it wastes a charge. You see how my Rod of Evandis has 10 next to it? Now it has 9 after I use the special. If you use the special 10 times, then your Rod of Evandis just disappears, and it's not really worth using the special. If you want to know more backstory about the special, it's that whenever you actually do use the special, you can use a Guthix balance on it, and it'll turn into a human, I guess, and it'll give you some kind of like minor reward, and it's on its way. It just doesn't even kill it. But don't ever use that. It's a waste of time, waste of energy, waste of resources as well. Here's me switching to a Blessed Axe just for you guys to see and compare the accuracy. I only do a maximum 10 hit with the Blessed Axe because the maximum damage of any silver weapon, silver bolt, silver sickle blessed, anything silver besides the Rod of Evandis does a maximum 10 damage. I just want to point out that that video was going 600% the speed of the normal speed. This is how bad this encounter is. It's terrible. It's not hard, it's just terrible. So this event is actually exclusive to Route 3, and in my opinion is one of the easier events on Route 3. The enemy that spawns is this giant octopus tentacle or whatever it is, and it's going to attack you and your follower. They have very low HP each tentacle, and they have a very low defense as well, so you'll be doing a lot of hits very often. They also attack slow, but it is multi-combat, so all 4 tentacles can attack you at the same time. Once you're out of the cutscene, try your best to attack all 4 tentacles at once so that you take the aggro and your follower doesn't. Now, if one of the tentacles is attacking your follower, I would highly recommend you prioritize that specific tentacle because you don't want your follower to take damage. If your follower dies during a trek, you more or less lost your reward. You have to teleport out, you lost your food that you gave it, etc, etc. Again, it's a very simple event. Just pray melee for as long as you can, and then after, if there's like 1 tentacle left or 2 tentacles left, you can turn it off and tank. The speed, the ticks that it attacks at is actually pretty slow. I think it's the speed of a dragon battle axe or any battle axe in general. You can flick prayer if you want. I'm feeling right here pretty badly. The head actually has a slower attack rate than a dragon battle axe, so you'll be able to do 2.5 attacks on the head with the whip or skimmy before the head can attack you, and you can easily flinch that as I'm about to do now. So once you kill the head, just go ahead and click on the boxes either north or south of the boat, and it should take you to continue on the trek. The only time you'll ever get a Shades event is right here on this specific point. Now, usually the spawns are a hit or miss. Shades themselves have a very high attack and a very high strength, so they will hit you hard often. As you just saw, my follower went off to the side, causing one of the shades that was aggro to her go attack her. So my priority right now is to keep her alive. So I need to focus fire on this specific shade. So use up all of your special bar to keep it alive. I have the other 3 shades aggro to me, so I'm not worried about them anymore. What you really want is your follower to spawn right behind you so that none of the shades can get to her. And in that case, you can just go ahead and... My follower is just walking away. In that case, you can just go ahead and attack all of the shades once, take all the aggro, just to be 100% sure that your follower will be safe. This right here is a pretty easy event. It's not that hard. Just go ahead and pray. If you have all shades or 1 shade attacking you at the same tick, then you can easily flick prey. But right now I have 2 of them attacking me on 2 different ticks, so it's a little harder for me to flick prey. Right over here where I'm being attacked on the same tick, I just start flicking prey, and it's really not that bad at all. The remains that it drops is somewhat valuable because they're used in the minigame Shades of Morton, not the quest. And the fire remains that we're achieving right now are actually the highest rated remains that you can get and burn. And you need to use a magic lock to create the pyre and everything. What happened? That's another dead minigame that not a lot of people know about. But they usually give you keys to like chests, and it's just a little weird minigame. Here's another video of me getting the same exact spawn, but having some kind of recovery that I don't even know happened. So I got them not to attack my follower. I just got lucky, and they're in a straight line. So what you want to do is just attack them all once, so that you take the aggro and keep that aggro. And then you can just attack them in however way you want. The snakes encounter isn't really bad at all in terms of speed and safety, and if you're paying attention to what I'm doing right now, I moved south a little bit so my follower can come down a little, and then I walked in front of her so that she's behind me. This acts as a safe spot for her, and she can't really get attacked, which means that she won't use up any of the foods that you gave her in the beginning. The snakes do hit hard, and they are pretty accurate, so you can either flick them with prayer or just completely prayer melee if they're all attacking you at the same time on different ticks. It's just a matter of time for you to kill them, and then once you kill them, you can continue on with the trek. Something that I didn't do in the video because I don't have a knife in my inventory. You can actually use a knife on the dead snakes and it's going to give you somewhere between 2 to 6 snake skins. And this is good if you want to craft with snake skin. I'm not really sure why you would want to, since they give very little XP. But that's a very good source of snake skin if you want to collect snake skin and sell them. Just a bit of a warning right now, be careful of your audio because the audio from the Nail Beasts are bugged. As you can see right here, it is very loud. I'm not sure if it's intentional, but Nail Beasts are generally pretty easy to kill. They have low HP, low defense. You can easily tank them. They don't do a lot of damage in the first place without prayer, but they're also very easy to flick prayer with. So if you're going to flick prayer, just flick the first attack out of 3 that they do. Their speed and attack is the same as Ghasts, which is half the speed of your skimmy or whip, and you can get 2 hits in there with a whip or skimmy before they can attack you once. So they're pretty easy. They're fun to get. They're fun to come by. As an Ironman, they're really good because they drop Nail Beast nails, and that's one of the main ingredients you need for Sandfuse serums. And if you're not an Ironman, they are actually pretty valuable. So just pick them up and sell them in the Grand Exchange. Our final encounter for this video is the giant snails. So once you spawn in, put on protect from missiles and attack all the snails in the event. If your follower takes the aggro, don't worry about it because attacking the said snail will change the aggro to yourself. That way you don't have to worry about yourself losing the aggro for the rest of this event. These guys can go pretty fast, so it's not really bad to encounter them once in a while. Also, if you have a Snelm, I have one in my inventory, you can use it to take less damage from their ranged attacks, but on Route 3, which is the route that we're doing for farming, they still do some pretty damage, so I would just use prayer all the way. One thing that you should know about the shells that it drops is that you can actually pick up those shells and sell them to a goblin named Barlock in Dorgish Khan. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but at this point I don't care. You can sell all of the regular shells for 600 GP each. Sometimes if your follower gets the final blow or the killing blow on a snail, it'll drop a perfect snail shell. And you can sell that to Barlock for 600 GP plus he will give you 500 crafting XP. I only pick up the perfect ones. I don't really care to collect these regular shells. So if you want, you can collect it and sell it to Barlock and Dorgish Khan, and it's really nothing bad. I mean, I have the inventory space. I'm just being lazy, not picking it up. So if I recall correctly, back in 2006, 2007, there was an event with a group of people around the campfire who were very sick, and what you had to do was use food on them. So you would use 4 or 5 pieces of food, one on each, and they would become well again and you can move forward with the event. I've done temple trekking in OSRS multiple times, over 100 times, because I used it to grind 75 crafting. And I have not come across this event, so I'm not even sure that this particular event is an OSRS right now. And if you didn't give them food, they would turn into Ghasts. So you tried not to get to the point of having them starve to death and become Ghasts, because then you'd have to kill the Ghasts instead of just feeding them food and moving forward. So if you do come across something like that, post the pictures, because I could not find anything to show you guys. I found no videos, no photos of anything relevant to this specific event. Before I explain the strategy for bowstring farming and watermelon seed farming, I just want to show you that these are Route 1 tickets, and up to this point in the video, we've been doing Route 3. If you look at the Route 1 ticket for Pure Essence, you see that it's very small compared to the Route 3 counterpart, which is why we do Route 3 for the silver bars and the Pure Essence, because you get more. But for things like bowstring and watermelon seeds, the base is actually very high compared to the maximum you can get in a Route 3. So therefore, you can do more Route 1s on easy, then do Route 3s on medium and get a higher reward in per hour. And you can get up to 3.5k bowstring an hour and up to 500 watermelon seeds an hour. So it's great for Ironman farming. It's great for money making as well if you're not an Ironman. You can also do this. You can choose coal and iron as your reward and make steel bars with them. And you can train your smithing like that as well, create some cannonballs. I wouldn't do it in my... It's honestly up to you guys. It's up to you guys if you want to do this. You can do either or Route 1 or Route 3 for coal and iron. The XP books generally aren't worth it because you don't have any control on what XP books you're going to get. Random reward, I'm not even sure why this is an option since we can choose our rewards. So generally, just watch this video and see what I do. I have a little different setup in terms of my items, and I'm using full graceful to just run and evade. Here is the fast forwarded version of what I did for 8 minutes and getting 400 bowstrings. You can have a little bit more food in your inventory, but this is what I'm going to be using for bowstring and watermelon seed farming. I have teleports to my house for prayer restores. I have one prayer potion. I've got a hammer, which we didn't really need to use on Route 3 because we can just equip our axes, but just to save like a tick or two here and there, have a hammer in your inventory just in case. Got a knife and everything else. I'm tempted to catch that, but I think I already have a medium clue in my bank. Find an easy guy that you're going to assist and just go ahead and do your routes. Once you get an event, if it's not a puzzle event, I want you to go to the sides and there's going to be an option, just like how you finish an event, that says escape. You would escape every single encounter you do. That way you don't need to fight anything, except for puzzles like these, which you saw in an earlier portion of this video. You would have to solve it in order to move forward. It's not that bad, it's not that hard, and it's pretty fast. Now we came across an event in which we don't want to do, so just run to the sides like here and just click on evade event, and it's going to take you away from the event and you don't have to solve it. You can only do this on Route 1. So that's why this is called the Route 1 farming, because any kind of combat instance you get, you can just go ahead and skip, claim your 100 bowstrings, and just redo a path. And you do this about 20, 30, even 40 times if you're lucky enough to get that much bowstrings an hour. Thank you guys for watching. This video took me approximately 16 or 17 hours to record, edit, and upload to YouTube. If you guys watched the entire 30 minutes, you are the Iron Man. And that was a very bad joke, but just go with it. Once again, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you guys have any comments you'd like to share, any kind of constructive criticism, I'm more than open to them. So please leave them in the comments, or if you saw this on like a Reddit thread, put them in the Reddit thread, and I will go and read all the comments, I promise you. Once again, for the third time, thank you guys for watching, and have fun scaping.